Now, it is my pleasure to introduce today's student speaker, Patrick Brathwaite. Patrick was born in Venezuela and immigrated to the United States with his family at the age of 7. After graduating from Spoto High School in Riverview in 2008, he delayed his college entry for 2 years while exploring his options. At Hillsborough Community College, he found an option that was not only a smart choice, but the right choice. During his time at HCC, Patrick has been actively involved in the Honors Institute, Relay for Life, and the Black-Brown College Bound Summit. Patrick was also one of a handful of students chosen through the Washington Center to be an intern for CNN at both the Democrat and Republican National Convention. Patrick's planned to pursue a law degree with an eye towards politics. He has applied to Georgetown, Cornell, Harvard, and the University of Florida. Whichever school he selects, they truly will be fortunate to have him. Join me in welcoming Patrick to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Atwater. And thank you to our administration, our faculty, our guest speaker, Dr. Martha Cantor, and thank you to all of our friends and family. I am not supposed to be here. My family emigrated from Venezuela, and I'm a first-generation college student. I came into HCC 2 years after high school. I tried to enlist in the military, but it didn't work out. After everything was in order, I failed my hearing test and was disqualified from every branch that I went to. I started here from the household of a hard-working single mother who depends on medication from an open heart surgery. We didn't have a lot of money, so like many of you, I had to work to help at home. Yet, the more I worked, the more my grades suffered. But I needed to work to be in school. The townhome we lived in was bought by family from Venezuela, so we would have a place to live with fewer expenses. But I still felt like I was in a trap with no options to get out of, a function of poverty that on paper did not justify my efforts in the classroom. However, I am here. And it is because of 3 people that I want to tell you about. Now, this first person, some of you shared classes with. I was so stressed one semester, I couldn't handle it. So I stopped handling it by not going to class. I stayed at home for a week and a half, and I did nothing but lay in bed. When I finally decided to go back, my professor asked me if I could stay after class, and her next words changed everything for me. She said, "Is everything all right?" I must have talked to her for an hour. Professor Susan Herbelt from the Ybor campus, thank you. From her, I learned that it didn't matter what I was coming from or where I was coming from, because it did not define who I was. See, I wasn't poverty, I was in poverty. Graduates, never let the circumstances in your environment take away from who you are. This second person was a friend at home. During a tough couple of weeks, food was running low. And I know a mom will do anything for her son, but I still didn't want to burden her. I went to my friend Jason's house, and he was struggling himself. His problems were different than mine. He was facing addiction problems, and everything was harder for him. Yet Jason took 2 grocery bags, opened up his fridge and pantry and filled them up with food for me to take home. I will never forget that. My mom didn't know. Now she does. Jason taught me that all of us, no matter where we are or what we are facing, we are part of a community. And in a community, we take care of each other. In your own way, always give back. Because you, me, and them, we are the community. The last person taught me what is most personal. See, I started here with remedial math, and I'm glad I made an A in algebra, beginning algebra. But when I made it to intermediate, it was so difficult for me, I failed it. But I got back on my feet and I took it again. The following semester, I failed it again. I was more than frustrated. I'd hear students talking about physics and differential equations, and I thought to myself, why am I doing so bad in this math? It became my opponent. But I somehow found it within myself to push through, and I passed by being relentless. See, that last person is why I am here today. It's myself. I learned that when you want something, you get it. Your strongest weapon being your mind. But I am not the only one who was relentless. Every single one of you is here because you pushed through homework, projects, a handful of all-nighters, and now you're walking across this stage today. Our professors, family, and friends have been here, but it was ultimately me, and it was ultimately you that had to get us to graduate. Graduates, there is a greatness in you. You know it to be true. So guard it, and let nothing else be worthy of yourself. Cultivate it. Allow it to flourish. Remember your community. Everything you do from here on, let it be great. I am not supposed to be here today. And perhaps we are not supposed to be here today. But in the midst of adversity, we triumphed. We made it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Patrick, on behalf of Hillsborough Community College, I am proud to present you with this plaque in recognition of your commencement speech today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good luck, guys.